lot of us come over here and we're very arrogant. You do have Black Americans who absolutely believe that they're better than the local Kenyans, which is absolutely ridiculous. I'm here to save Kenya because we ain't here to. Kenya don't need saving. Kenya don't need saving, which is why we coming here.
That's right.
Most Kenyans look at us as the children of slaves from a derogatory point of view. So we're already coming into the situation with some kind of resentment already there. For the majority of us, we want to get away from racism. We want to get away from bigotry. We want to get away from the system of white supremacy. We want to feel like we can blend, and that's how you feel when you're here, especially in Kenya. And we want a sense of ownership, if that is an option for us. Real ownership, real generational wealth in a place where we're not judged, but we're welcome. We also don't want to be treated like outsiders. Don't give me the Mzungu prices because of my accent.
You get that?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Get that?
Not no more. Because I know Hapana. Don't do me like that. I look like you. Just because I have the American accent. Don't try to overprice me.
All right, so hey guys, welcome to today's episode of LNN. My name is Lynn Ngugi, and as always, we get to meet for another thought-provoking conversation where we do the three things we are doing this year. Remember, we are learning and relearning. And I know today's topic is not strange to majority of you. Of course, we know we've witnessed a lot of years of returns, and we are seeing a lot of Black Americans coming to Africa, coming back to the motherland. But what many people are not discussing are the complex issues surrounding this whole return, and our guest today is back on the platform to be able to teach us so that we might be able to understand this topic further. I can't wait to hear what she has to say about it. I'm about to let her introduce herself so that she can be able to walk us through this conversation. But before I do that, I acknowledge that we have a lot of new subscribers on the platform. You guys are the real MVPs. Thank you so much for supporting us. Like, I look back, you guys, we are number one on the podcast platforms. You guys have gotten us to over 1.24 million subscribers. I don't play about that, so I really do appreciate you. Thank you for taking part and participating in these conversations, and also our amazing partners who make these conversations happen too. I say production can be hectic, so I don't take it for granted when we have incredible partners such as Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited. Thank you so much for coming through, and now they are very familiar to you. So if you're looking into owning a piece of land with these incredible people, whether you want to own it in Matu, they have Baraka Gardens there, which is amazing. There's a tarmac right there. They have Makutano, the Success Gardens in Makutano. And also when you go to Masinga, they have the Joy Gardens in Masinga. I've not been to Masinga, but I know that property, it's beautiful. But I was in Malindi, their Precious Gardens in Malindi, where we talked about castor seeds and also beautiful commercial activities that you can undertake. So do check them out. But then again, if a land is not your thing, you want to own an apartment, you know where to go. Visit our people at Kings Developers Limited. We were catching up with them just the other day, and I love that they have great projects coming through. So if you're looking into owning an apartment with an ISO certified real estate company, why don't you talk to our people at Kings Developers Limited? Check out those apartments and talk to them about their payment plan and also that car discount, and tell them you saw this from LNN so that they can consider it. And also thank you to the incredible team that gets to put this work together. Over, I've said you get to see me in front of the camera, but it takes an entire clan to be able to bring this work to life. So shukran sana. And now, of course, without further ado, please allow me to let my guest introduce herself so that we can get right into our topic of the day. Hello.
Hi, how
are you?
Good.
Nice to see you again, looking very, very beautiful.
Thank you for having me.
How are you feeling?
I'm good.
Yes.
Yes, I'm good.
It's been a year now?
Yes, a little over a year.
Yeah, since we sat down.
Yes.
How was that for you?
I loved it.
You loved
You are an incredible interviewer. I think we got some really, really good feedback. So thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Yes.
still nice to see you still here in
Yes.
the motherland.
Yes.
So that means things are working for you.
Yes.
And I can't wait to hear more about that.
Yes.
But in case someone missed out on our very first conversation, maybe looking at that camera, can you introduce yourself and remind our people what you do?
Yes, so my name is Kia Wakesho Simmons. I have taken on my Kenyan name, but I am not Kenyan at all.
Yeah.
I am originally from Charleston, South Carolina, of the Gullah Geechee culture. Shout out to the 843. I am the owner and a founder of Traverse Culture. We are a travel concierge company that specializes in humanitarian work, relocation assistance, business development, and now medical tourism inbound to Kenya. We also service Central America, Panama, and Belize. We are headquarters out of the U.S., but our subsidiary is here in Nairobi, Kenya, Traverse Culture, Africa. Yes.
Good. How is the going? But maybe before we get into how the going really is going,
Okay.
Maybe someone might also have missed out why you came to Kenya. Do you want to briefly touch on that?
Yeah. So originally I was working in Afghanistan, and prior to working in Afghanistan or living in the States, I had never met a Kenyan a day of my life in the States until I got to Afghanistan about 13 years ago. And I met my first Kenyan. I always shout out to my brother, James Mloasi. His family is actually here at my house as we speak in Nairobi from Mombasa.
Yeah.
So shout out to my adopted family. We met. He told me about Kenya. You often hear about Africa as a whole, but you don't really know where these countries are located on a map until you actually meet somebody. So he was telling me about Kenya, and I just fell in love with the conversation. He helped me get a better job. Like the first month I was in Afghanistan, I was like, wow. So anyway, I told him I was going to go to Kenya. He was like, no, you're not. And I bought my ticket, and I said, to him the next time I saw him, I was like, hey, I bought my ticket, so when we going to Kenya?
Yes.
And I landed in Mombasa at Moi, August 2011, and never looked back. I've been coming to the country consistently since 2011 and fell in love, and always told myself that I wanted to move here eventually permanently. So now I actually permanently live in Nairobi, Kenya, sold everything in the US, and now I live here.
You sold kila kitu.
Everything.
You moved here.
Yes.
And your story is very familiar because a lot of Black Americans are doing this. They are selling everything they have. They are leaving their whole life behind,
Correct.
selling their apartments, everything, and they are moving back to the motherland. For you, the motherland is Kenya. You fell in love with Kenya, right?
Yes.
So why do you think majority of them are doing this?
So it's a number of things. If you look at the climate that's in the U.S. right now, it's absolutely asinine what's going on. We don't have to bring up Trump, but we see what's happening with that administration. But outside of that, the history of Black Americans and America has been a love-hate relationship. While I am very proud to be Gullah Geechee, which is an American culture cultivated out of our African ancestry. I am equally proud to be a product of the continent. And so I always say to people when they say that, they're FBAs or, foundational Blacks or they're Pan-African, I don't necessarily want to place myself in a box, but two things can be true. I can subscribe to being proud to be in Gullah Geechee, which I would consider partially FBA, if you will, not to the extreme of pseudo science, if you will, but and then also Pan-African, Ubuntu, in my blood. So for me, there were a number of things for me to move to Kenya. One, it was a strategic business move because I have been doing business here now for 7 years from the States and just coming back and forth. And then, after a while, things are starting to pick up. Most Black Americans want to see what you say you're doing in real time. And so I had to make the decision like, okay, we're going to have to go ahead and move to Kenya and make this a permanent relocation. But for the majority of us, we want to get away from racism. We want to get away from bigotry. We want to get away from the system of white supremacy. We want to feel like we can blend, and that's how you feel when you're here, especially in Kenya. And we want a sense of ownership. If that is an option for us, real ownership, real generational wealth in a place where we're not judged, but we're welcome. The beautiful thing about Kenya, your key opening statement when you get to the airport is Karibu Kenya, Karibuni Kenya. And so to be welcome into a beautiful country such as Kenya, where the people are always welcoming. It's a feeling that you can't buy. You just can't buy.
Great. And I know one of the things we said we would do today is also address some of the complex and divisive things that are happening around this whole return thing, when people are saying, I want to go back to the motherland. One of the things that I have realized is you guys are in love with Africa. You love the motherland, whether it's Ghana, Kenya, Senegal, Mali. But how does it make you feel first when some people say you are you are Black American, you are not African? Have you experienced that?
Yes.
And what do you think is your truth around it?
Yeah, so my truth is the reality that is true. Culturally, we are American. That is the truth. Some of us have an issue with that because of the relationship we have with America in terms of the history. But if we are real and honest with ourselves, and this is a journey. It's a journey because it's like a child that has been abused, right? And you're in an abusive relationship, but you can't get away from that relationship. And then you have the opportunity to go to your mom, who essentially, she had a part to play in it, but she really didn't have full control of you being taken away, right? Or even feeling abandoned and now feeling rejected. And now you have the opportunity to go to her, right? And find some kind of sense of belonging. But then it's a full circle. So for me, in the beginning, 13 years ago, when I started my journey of enlightenment, it led me to the continent. But it didn't just lead me to the continent. I've been to 46 countries in the world, which were in Europe, Asia, everywhere around the world. And I've been to 9 other African countries. And for me, Kenya just is one of those places that stuck with me. But as I was going through that journey, I too realized that even the way that I was operating as an American who was not conscious of my Kenyan counterparts. This is the reality of it all. And for Black Americans, we don't want to keep it a buck and say that there is some unlearning that you have to do, because you too have created this romantic idea of what you think Africa, which is a continent, not a country, is. And so when we think of Africa, you have to break it down to different countries. So since we're here in Kenya, we're going to deal with Kenya. And so for me, let me give you an example. Yesterday, I go to CJ's. I wanted a smoothie. And they didn't have the smoothie the way that I'm used to in America, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, can you move this? Can you move this and make it this way? He did it for me. As I'm getting in my car, I said to myself, they need a smoothie king here. Right?
Yeah.
And then I said, check yourself. They don't need nothing. You would like for them to have a smoothie king for you, but they don't need anything. Check yourself. And so it's small nuances like that where you become an American really quick.
Yeah.
And you oppose what you think things should be in someone else's country. And that is not the way. And there is a lot of Black Americans coming with that mindset.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we educate our clients that we relocate to Kenya is, if your mindset is colonialism or very American, nothing's wrong with that. But we need to educate you so that we can unlearn some of the things when you arrive here. Because what we not going to do is come to other people's country and tell them what to do and how to do it in their country. Because you think you know what. Because if you knew what to do best, then do it in America. Let's keep it a buck. Do it in America. So you're coming here for a purpose. Kenya has something you want from her, right? And there's a relationship that we can build, but you first have to be honest with yourself first that yes, you are American. And I do not, and I repeat, I do not subscribe to repatriation for Black Americans because you're not repatriating to Kenya, you're integrating into Kenya.
Keyword,
yes.
Integrating.
Correct.
Do you think the fact that a lot of Africans feel the power struggle with the Black Americans, do you think this agitates a lot of Africans? Do you think this has led to the way now Africans view the Black Americans?
Absolutely. A lot of us come over here and we're very arrogant. Let's just keep it 100. I know that there's a lot going on the internet with the passport bros, saying a lot of stuff about Kenyan women and how Black American men are the best and all of those good things, I guess. And I know a lot of that is just for internet trolling, right? But then you do have Black Americans who absolutely believe that they're better than the local Kenyans, which is absolutely ridiculous. And so the way that I approach it is, again, integration. You cannot, because we do have a complex non-relationship with you all. So it can create tension and resentment from the locals. If we don't approach it from a different, from a intentional position, because we're inviting ourselves to your country. So I'm coming into your home. I must integrate and then build this relationship to make sure that you understand that I am coming with the purest intention and that I don't want to take anything from you. I want to learn, and I would love for you to learn because I do come with my own culture.
Yes.
I do come with my own culture. But I am here in your home and I don't take that for granted. And in fact, I am grateful to be in your home. So let's relationship build with each other.
Great. I love that. You're in Kenya, but also a lot of people have said, Black Americans, this is not your origin. East Africa is not your origin.
Yeah.
Go to West Africa, go to Ghana, Senegal, Mali. That's where you all come from. What do you want to say about that?
I think it's crazy.
Yeah.
Because
ignorant.
It's ignorant. It's ignorant. Yes. Because it's ignorance. You're right. Because there's no education behind it, especially here in East Africa. And I know that that's intentional. If you look at the East African trade, the slave trade, it happened. And they weren't just pulling enslaved Africans from East Africa and going to the Arab countries. They were pulling East Africans and pulling them to the West as well. But let's just forget about that. If we believe that we circumnavigated the globe thousands of years before the Mzungu, and we think it's only the slave trade, that says a lot about us as a group of people. We've circumnavigated this globe before the transatlantic slave trade. So we were already traded. Look at my family. We did our DNA back in 2019. And I didn't even do it. My family did it. And we came back 27.7% Kenyan and of the Lua tribe, which is funny because I was already given a Lua name, Akini, and I didn't know. I didn't care. I was like, I love Kenya. That's what it is. And when we came back Kenyan, we did come back 33% Nigerian, which I went to Nigeria in February.
Yes.
But the DNA that we did, it showed in chronological order how we were going back and forth. I believe we were trading and intermarrying between Kenya and Nigeria, back and forth, back and forth. We ended up in Benin, and then we ended up in one of the largest slave ports in North America, Charleston, South Carolina. And so, even if you look at the food here in Kenya, if you eat skuma, if you don't eat skuma, you ain't Kenyan.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
If you don't eat collard greens, which is skuma, in Black American culture, you ain't Black American. So how do you explain collard greens, which is indigenous to East Africa, ending up in North America for thousands of years? It's a part of our culture. How do we explain things like that end up in North America, and we say that we can't be from East Africa? I think that it's just miseducation of This is the cradle of life. So all human life began here. Even if you didn't end up here and reside here, all human life started here. So we do have some origins here. And why does that matter? Why does that matter? Why can't I say I love Kenya and this is my home?
Why do you think it matters from what you've experienced? Where is the disconnect?
Education, intentional relationship building, cultural exchange, and then outside sources that we have no control on to keep us divided, I believe play a big part.
Such as?
White supremacy.
The division is by design.
Correct. The division is by design. White supremacy is real globally. And I believe as a people, we sometimes are happy with the crumbs that we get. And we feel like we've made it. And yet we are so more divided than united than we should be. And we're starting to see it with these internet wars about frivolous conversations where I humbly come to you and say, Asante Sana for allowing me to be a part of your beautiful culture. But I'm also asking you to get to know me so that we don't have this friction and the resentment of me being in your country and you thinking I'm trying to take something away. I think that we start there.
Good. I think so. I honestly think the division is by design.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of harm when we unite.
Yes.
For that person that does not want to see Africans uniting,
yes,
obviously they have a lot to benefit from our division
absolutely,
than our unity, which is actually, I think that's what it is. But do you think also the reason a lot of Black Americans face resentment, it's because of your financial position? Because majority of you will come here loaded. You've saved, you have the cash, you have the starting capital. Do you think that creates a bit of resentment from the locals?
Yeah, and I think that's human nature. I don't think you could change that really. Okay, well, no. I think it's a duality. It's human nature, but then it's also a slave mentality. Because of, most Kenyans look at us as the children of slaves from a derogatory point of view. So we're already coming into the situation with some kind of resentment already there. It's unfortunate. The only way that I see, the way that I'm approaching it with what we do as an organization is, again, making intentional ways of integrating African Americans into the community so that it's not coming off as I'm here to save Kenya, because we ain't here to. Kenya don't need saving. Kenya don't need saving, which is why we come here.
That's right.
So yeah, we have to change the mindset. Kenya don't need your help. Kenya don't need your saving. You don't need to start off your conversation or your sentence with saying, I'm coming to help and identify the things that they don't need your help. If you are adding value, that's different. You see the difference in that?
Yeah.
Instead of saying, I'm coming to help you, I'm coming to add value to what is already here. There's a difference.
A huge one.
Yeah.
And I love that you brought it up. Let's go deeper on the value addition, right? How can Black Americans add value when they move into Africa?
Yes. I know a lot of people, another thing that I learned the hard way is I would enter a conversation of what I can bring to the table to help you. Right?
Yes.
And that backfired on me. Because Kenya gonna let you know real quick.
We good.
We good. I don't need you to come. No, what is it in for me? And that's fair. How can it benefit the Kenyan folks first? And one of the things that I had to realize is what I'm going to do impactful to the local Kenyan community, whether it's creating jobs, opportunities, humanitarian work, whatever it is it going to benefit Kenyans first? Because you already know what it is in it for you.
Yes.
But you don't want to come in here like the colonizer. The colonizer comes in first. What is it in for him first?
Always.
Always. And most of us Black Americans are doing that, and we don't realize that. And so, again, the way that we add value is the mindset changed. What is it in for Kenyans first? You will benefit because you already know what it is in it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the added value.
I love that. I love that. However, the year of return or the return or come back to the motherland has been really, it's been pioneered even by African presidents, some from different countries who have said, come back home, we are ready for you. But I saw a lot of Black Americans complaining. They're like, you ain't ready for us. You're charging us for the visas. You're charging us for the stay. You're charging us for this and this. Do you think it's a fair game?
Yes, first off, I'm going to say this to Black Americans specifically. There's nothing for free. We've had clients comment on our page saying that why are we charging for consultation? It should be free because I'm Black American. And in fact, I should have free access to Africa because I'm Black American. That's absolutely ridiculous. The second half of what you're saying is American. So you are American. You are a foreigner coming into a foreign country that happens to have African ancestry. That's that. So any ethnic group that you see coming into Kenya, they are an added value. Are they not? You see the Chinese coming here, whether we like how they, position themselves, they have impacted the economy. The Somalians, the Indians, the so on and so forth. You have different ethnic groups here that work together. They build the community and they impact the economy. Black Americans, they can come here with a couple $1,000s and think you're supposed to get something free because you are Black American. That is crazy. In any relationship, you should prove the value that you bring to the table because otherwise you become a liability. So as a group of people, if we can't move to somebody else's country and work together and create an association to prove the value of what we bring to the table, so then we can then ask for concessions, then you're just talking. So no, I think it's fair. I think it's fair.
So why are we telling them to come home? How do you charge for people to come home? Why are you asking for the visa fees? If these are your children who are coming home, do you pay visa fee to your parent when you go into their house? So why is, I feel like the reason why majority of them are struggling is you as presidents, you are telling us, come back home. Yes, you have your roots here. This is your home. Come back to the motherland.
But I agree to a certain extent. Because I'm in this industry, trust me, you don't want every Black American coming into your country. Okay? So there has to be a filter. There has to be a filter. And what is going to put a filter is price points.
Is that fair though?
I absolutely believe it's
fair. Do you
fair.
decide which children should come back home?
I absolutely do. You want all the riffraff coming into your country?
No, I don't want. It's how it's been marketed. This is you. This is the motherland.
But this is also marketed to those who are at a certain level.
So what are we saying? Is the motherland beneficial to those who have the financial capacity for it? What if, walk with me, you are in California, wherever you are. You deeply know your roots are in Africa. You want to come back to the motherland. Here you want to come back to Kenya, Tanzania, Ghana. Choose one of the African countries, but you don't have the finances for it. What happens to you?
This is something that you have to prepare for. Relocation is a luxury.
Oof. There you go.
That's the bottom line. Relocation is a luxury. I tell all my clients that. There are some people that are not going to be able to come to the motherland. And again, I believe in filters. Not everybody is kinfolks. And we don't want the riffraff coming and destroying what we're trying to build with our Kenyan counterparts. And that's just the harsh truth.
Relocation is a luxury.
Relocation is a luxury.
Prepare.
It's relocated to another country that happened to be an African country is not something you just jump up and do. You can't. you have to prepare for it. You have to have some type of sustainability, especially living here in Nairobi, right? And then again, it's a mindset. You're going from a capitalist mindset in a debt-driven country to a non-debt-driven country. There's a mindset change that you have to have because you're going to have cash. You're going to have, because everything here revolves around having what you can afford. If you can't afford it, you don't have it. It doesn't work that way in the States.
Yeah.
And so again, not everybody's going to be able to relocate or come home to the motherland. Okay. It's just a reality.
I love that we are touching on the preparation. I think you brought it closer home. Could you walk us through 5 key things you really need to prepare for before you relocate?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the first thing is mindset. You have to look and find out what is your motivation of wanting to relocate, specifically to an African country. Second, you need to identify what is my plan to be able to sustain myself in this new country. How would I be able to feed myself? How would I get the capital to relocate, because it costs money to relocate? It's a luxury. Then once you identify it and you say you have that in order, how do I identify a company or resources to help me relocate so I do not make costly mistakes and waste my time? Because what we're also seeing is a lot of people moving here and they have not done the first 2 things, and they get here and they only last about 6 to 8 months and they're back in the United States because, one, they can't afford it. They can't afford it. Miseducation, thinking that these African countries are so primitive that they can move, which primitive is not a bad thing, by the way, but so behind in terms of technology and quality of life and education and healthcare, that they could just move with $500 or $10,000 and they will be great for a whole year. Yes. And that's not the reality. And then once you arrive here and you have identified a company or some resources to help you integrate into the society, now you need to identify, what am I going to do to continue my sustainability? How am I going to survive here? But also, how am I going to contribute? Because if the whole movement is a spiritual movement, when most of our clients come to us, it's a spiritual movement for them. They also want to be able to give back to the community. They also want to create businesses that are impactful investments here in the country. So those are some of the key things that you should know.
What's the spirituality behind the return?
Returning home to the motherland. Just being amongst people who look like you and not feeling like you stand out. That's priceless. When you could walk around and people automatically think I'm Kenyan. And even when I speak, they don't think I'm American. They think I'm a part of the diaspora, the Kenyan diaspora. Yeah. And they're like, oh, your mom is Kenyan. I'm like, no, I'm like not Kenyan. I'm like at least 14 generations Black American. And that's a different feeling, like just to feel home. And you guys are really special people. You really are.
We are.
Yeah, you are.
So are you.
Thank you.
So are you.
Thank you.
But you know what's running through my mind? A lot of people want to come back home, but we also have governments who are exporting labor from home and teaching us that other countries are better than what we have here. What do you think?
Miseducation. It's designed that way to make you feel, because you're in a bubble. You haven't been outside of Kenya. So whenever I speak to Kenyans, the first thing they bring up is the politics. And I'm like, you do understand that there's other countries around the world that has horrible politics, just like Kenya. But because you're in your box, it just seems like the world is just here. So it's the same thing as feeling like if I go to the West, then I'll do much better, as opposed to take your idea that you have here, grow it, and you can live well here. Here's the difference between Kenya and the United States. If you have money here, you live well. You live safe, with no worry, stress-free. If you have money in America, you still stress. It's still not safe. It's not the same. If you have money in America, you won't live good. But if you have money here, you live well. There's a difference between that. Yeah.
Good. Do you think there are some people I saw somewhere, some people might think this is also betrayal. You are betraying the US or other different countries where people are coming back from, because some people would be like, you got all these opportunities in America, you got the education, the life, the security, and there you pack up and leave and say, I'm going back to the motherland.
People don't know my story. They better go back to that first video.
Yeah.
They better go back to that first video. No, this was
not
definitely...
you, the whole movement. Not you as a person. Yeah. Now you
traitor?
No,
Betrayers? I think as African people, the world is ours. We can move wherever we want to move at in the world. Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a question.
Yes.
Can I?
Go on.
How do you feel about this massive exodus of Black Americans coming to Kenya specifically?
I love it.
Okay.
I'll tell you why I love it. Number one, it teaches us that this is special.
It is.
What we're having here is special. Our country is special. This is part of the motherland. If I'm seeing someone coming all the way from America, from the UK, saying I'm going back to the motherland, because you guys have been exposed to so many things, right? And you've decided, I want to leave all this and come back to safety. This teaches me this is safe.
Okay.
So I have no desire, I have no intention to disrespect this space, because this space is so special to so many other people. People who, many people would consider they've had it all in life. They say you guys have the best healthcare, the education systems, etc., etc. So here with our I'm happy. I'm like, this is where everyone wants to come, right? But I also love the fact that you've addressed so many things that are also not sitting right with some of us.
Yes,
when someone comes back to the motherland, chest out, hey, I'm from wherever, so whatever I say goes. We'll be like, who again?
Who are you?
Sorry, who are you?
You're right.
You know, and it's understandable because we are integrating.
Correct.
We are not looking for you to come back and be a colonizer. Now we're dealing with conservancies, we're dealing with poor governance, we are dealing with the mistakes, the land injustices, the injustices of the colonizers, etc. So we don't want to deal with you.
Right.
We don't want to deal with you. But also I feel some type of way because there's a disconnect because majority of us, you said something very important and I looked at you and I'm like, this must hurt you at some point. Many people will also look at you as the children of the slaves.
Correct.
So you have nothing much to offer.
Yes.
And I feel like that's something we really need to do away with.
Yes.
We gotta start seeing each other as humans first. I don't care if you're a child of a slave. I don't care. I care that you feel safe in this space. So how can we make it work for both of us? My opinion, I don't know what other people think. Would be interested to hear your thoughts, guys, on the comment section, but that's just me as Lynn.
Okay.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
That means a lot to hear it from. I don't think you all understand how important it feels to hear that from you as the mother to the cousin. I'm your distant cousin.
Yeah.
To say, no, I appreciate you all coming. Check yourself first. Check yourself at the door. But I appreciate you coming home. That means a lot. It really do.
Yeah, and I feel like we need to put, there's a huge contrast between also the people who come here as the way you're saying the passport bros and they'll be like, these women, this Kenya. I feel that's a character issue.
It is.
That's a character issue.
It is.
So, and I feel like anyone also in Kenya can say that. Anyone from Uganda can say that.
Yeah.
That's your deal. That's your character issue. I don't think it's a representation of the whole Black American movement.
No.
I think it's a character issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think more of us need to just speak on some of our misbehaviors. But then I'm going to flip it around. Also, we also don't want to be treated like outsiders. Don't give me the Mzungu prices because of my accent.
You get that?
You know what I mean?
You
Yeah.
get that?
Not no more.
You
because
did?
I know Hapana.
Aye.
No, you know. But don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. I look like you. Just because I have the American accent, but don't do me like that. You know what I mean? don't try to overprice me. Don't try to get over on me because, of my accent, And so we, those are some things that we deal with as foreigners, because we are foreigners. But we feel hurt because we're like, I look like you. I just have an accent. Don't do me like that.
No.
Don't give me Kenyan prices.
Like we won't do you like
Allah. Give me Kenyan prices.
Sincerely.
Hey.
Yeah, what are the challenges? No, let's talk. I love it. Challenges. What are the challenges?
Yeah. Overpricing. If I ask for this cup and you price me,
I can't defend you guys.
Hey. I said, how much is this? 1,000. Wait.
But you got money.
No.
300.
300. Why would you overcharge me? Or tell me something that's not true because I'm a foreigner. That hurts. Because while I am a foreigner, we look alike. Give me a break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't do me like that. Yeah. So those are some of the challenges.
What's the challenge away from the overpricing?
That's what. Oh gosh. Oh, I can't stand this. The passiveness. Kenyans are quite passive aggressive. So we're aggressive. We're gonna tell you straight to your face.
Yes.
No. Kenyans gonna go all the way around the corner, come back. Then I gotta figure out the answer was no. I'm like, just tell me no. Just tell me no.
Yeah.
Are you blushing? It's getting hot.
At least you'd rather go this way than lie.
No, just tell me no. Straight to my face.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do business with me, just say
tell me
no.
Uh-huh.
Don't ignore my emails or tell the PA that you talk to them tomorrow. Just tell me no.
Okay.
Hey.
All right.
Okay. And then
there's
lastly, more. Yes.
Okay.
Grown men asking for money from a woman.
What's wrong with that?
Hey, my sister, you have $100. Hey,
Connie, what's wrong with that?
No, I don't like that.
Who asked for money?
The garage man, the doorman, this person. Can I have something just for you to help me park? No. All you did was help me park. You just told me to park right here. Now I owe you money? No.
In the US, you don't do it like that?
No. Why?
Yachai. Nobody has told you yachai, mama.
Ati?
Yachai.
No.
Some tea, mama.
Oh, yes. Yes. Can I have some money for lunch?
Yeah.
Or chai or soda? No. I don't like that.
So
either.
You would rather volunteer than have someone ask you for it?
Yes. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Especially a grown man. Big grown man. No. Don't come for me in the comment section, y'all.
Yeah. Okay, lakini wa Kenya mbona tunafanyanga hivyo man. Someone will help you park.
Yes.
They won't say it directly, but you know what you have to do.
So is that a part of the culture?
I'm going to speak about the culture. I'm no snitch.
Okay, all right, okay. We will leave that alone.
I don't know if it's the culture or whatever.
Or they just doing it to me because of my accent.
We are wonderful people.
You are.
A culture is not made up of just the wonderful things. We got to spicy some few things.
That's true.
Then there.
It's needed.
It's needed.
It's necessary.
So I won't snitch on the culture. But now you're navigating. Now it's easy for you.
Yeah.
I'll
just say hapana.
Yeah. Wow. But we spoke about opportunities. We spoke about come and add value. What opportunities? We can talk about Kenya because this is where you've been for a moment. What or maybe if you're familiar with other opportunities in other African countries, what opportunities are there for the Black Americans who are coming back to the motherland?
Yeah. So the first thing you'll see people go into real estate first, because ownership is a huge thing for Black Americans. And so real estate is one of those things. We're seeing a lot of people coming into agriculture, big time, tourism. and relocation services and things of that nature, just helping other people kind of navigate moving here. We're seeing manufacturing, especially in terms of processing, tea, coffee. So again, that's under the agriculture. So between real estate and agriculture has been two major industries we're seeing a lot of our clients looking into.
All right. How is the documentation like? Because I think also one of the questions I get, even when I'm talking about people like our sponsors of the episode, King's Developers or the Golden Dreams, the land company, people will be like, Lynn, I'm in America. How do I own a property in Kenya? So for you, how is that documentation like? And do you think there's also privilege when it comes to how easy you guys get access to some of this?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm not operating from a privileged position. There's different spaces that I get to be in because of privilege. And so I'm not oblivious to that. I'm very conscious and aware of that. So yes, I do believe that we do get certain concessions because we are American.
Okay.
And that's a reality.
So it's easy to own property here.
Yeah, leasehold property. Yes.
Talk to them about that.
Yeah, so there's a difference between freehold and leasehold. I know a lot of people have this misconception that you can't own land in Kenya. As a foreigner, you can own leasehold land. And by the way, Kenyans also own leasehold land. The only difference is this land is taxed by the government. That is it. Freehold land is mainly owned by the community, the village. And so you can't have access to that because it's communal land.
Yes.
So even Kenyans have to go through a process if they want to own freehold land. But it's much easier for you to access leasehold land as a Kenyan or a foreigner. So yes, you can. It's a 99. You can get up to 99 years of lease, which only means you have to pay taxes on it, and you would then renew that contract with the government for ownership of that. So they can't just come and take the land away from you if you don't pay the taxes. No, you own this land outright. So yes, you can have ownership here.
And real estate, not so in terms of houses, apartments, etc.
Oh, and that's even easier because with land, and on the continent is a bit tricky. Yes. Period. So it's easier to purchase property than land because you can identify who owned it, who built it outright. Land is a little difficult because it can be a lot of hands in the pocket, in terms of who owned it, and it's hard to kind of trace or track who owned it before, who owned it now, and all this other stuff. So it can get a bit complicated, but it's easier to just purchase property outright.
All right. Another challenge I had some of the people addressing is corruption. Is that a thing?
Yes,
Do you think we are corrupt?
Yeah, it is corruption. In any country, there's corruption. I won't harp on that.
How is ours?
I'm not getting into that because I don't want the Kenyans in the no.
Nobody coming for you.
No, I think even Kenyans, that's the biggest thing Kenyans complain about when they talk about the country.
100%.
Corruption is the first thing to come out the mouth. You know what I mean? And it deals with the politics and they can literally have a policy in place today and they change it tomorrow morning. That's absolutely ridiculous. You know what I mean? And so you see areas of corruption in terms of policies and laws and just people making up stuff out of the blue and making you try to say, oh, this been in place. And you're like, no, this happened. You haven't even updated the system. So now it's this way. So, those are some of the things that you have to deal with the corruption here. But I do believe that Kenya is still way forward thinking than most African countries. Most of your systems are digital. So you can track a lot of things. You can do a lot of things online from your home. So I think that, it's kind of give and take with Kenya.
Okay. I see how you're trading very carefully. So let's leave that. But the dating scene for you, feel free to get into it because I also saw a couple of people saying, man, it's crazy. Is it?
I don't date here.
Yeah.
I'm focused.
Yeah.
I got work to do. But I tell you what, I didn't move here to find no man. I honestly, y'all don't come for me in the comment section, don't think Kenyan men are that attractive.
Wait, what?
No,
Our Kenyan men are not what?
No. In my age group. You got to understand how old I am.
Hey, nigga.
It's the truth.
Really? What makes them unattractive? The looks?
The stomach.
Cancel.
Yeah. You see the stomach.
No.
Men my age. I'm 42.
Yeah.
Which means these people are going to be 45. And yeah.
They don't like vibe you like that. Like, I feel like they are very decent men.
Really? The younger men here are. Like in your 30s.
Yeah.
Your early 30s. Good looking guys. I've seen some recently. It's not like Nigeria now.
Nigerians are hot?
Yes.
Hey.
They're good looking now. They're good.
Kenyan men are hot.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw a post and they said Kenyan men was number one. I was like, where?
Here. In the world.
In Africa?
Yes.
Where?
In Africa. Kenyan men are hot.
Okay.
Like,
You're going to have to take me somewhere.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Like Luka Muga.
He's good looking.
So he's Kenyan.
Yeah. I'm not saying all. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna have to.
If you walk out and you just look, you like.
I'm gonna have to come through for my brothers.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nigerians might be hot, but they treat you the way our Kenyan men will treat you.
I'm not gonna take it that far. I'm just saying they look good. That's all.
Me, by the way, guys, that's the end of that part. Please quote me on this. Kenyan men are hot. Just quote me on our Kenyan men are hot. We are topping the list. Yeah, we are topping the list for a reason.
But I
and
will
they
say,
are kind, you know.
That's what I was about to say.
They are so kind. I think so, honestly.
No. Honestly, yes. Now, so in terms of my dating life, the men that I have met have been very nice and good looking. They have been younger than me, but they look good.
Yeah, we can work on the stomach, you know.
Yeah,
that's something you can work on.
Gotta work on the stomach.
Just the stomach, but it's what's in the heart.
Really good men.
Kids,
really good men.
You go for what's in the heart.
No. I have a crush right now. I do. I have a crush, and he knows it. He crushed on me too, and he's an amazing man.
Kenyan.
Yes.
You see, because
he's an amazing man.
Yeah.
Really good man.
Now I'll sit on this chair.
Yeah.
And join you on that.
No. Kenyan men,
Yeah.
Really good men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind-hearted.
Very kind-hearted. Intentional, dependable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the spirit of learning, unlearning, and relearning,
okay.
Let's go back to the relearning.
Okay.
What are some of the 2 key things you've had to relearn on your journey?
Relearn is, again, making sure that I'm conscious and aware of how I am approaching my Kenyan counterparts in what it is that I want to do in Kenya. So it's not what I can do for you, but what is it in for Kenyans?
Yeah.
That's a hard lesson to learn. And you will end up starting over, losing a lot, or not progressing if you don't approach it from that position. So I had to relearn that.
Okay. Another thing?
That you're on their time. It ain't gonna happen on your time. You definitely have to learn the culture. Everything is Hakuna Matata. So everything can be pole, so you gotta just go with the flow.
Really? We fast.
Huh? We've been on 2 different pages. We usually agree.
Yeah.
But this right here, no. No.
So,
but it's okay. You just have to relearn.
Yeah, that we do things our
and
own way.
And you just go with the pace. Yeah.
Hakuna haraka.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big time.
Hakuna haraka.
Yes.
So this is what we call living life.
But that's good.
That's good.
That's relearning because I'm coming from a culture where everything is go.
Existing.
And it's not necessarily conducive.
Yes.
So this is conducive. I'm not complaining. I'm going with the flow.
We take our time. Take care of our stomachs. look good. Oh boy, I'm never recovering. Okay, 2 key things you've had to unlearn.
I guess it's the same thing as the relearning, though. Those were the 2 key things that I needed to unlearn. Unlearn your positioning and how you approach things, especially here in this culture, within this culture. And then, go with the flow, baby, because,
Hakuna Matata.
honey, yes.
What are you learning? 2 things you're learning. And you're so proud of.
Oh, man, that once you find a team, like my team, of women. I love Kenyan women. I think Kenyan women are the best to work with. You guys, I don't never feel like this competitive spirit with Kenyan women ever. And so my entire team is Kenyan women who've been with me as long as 7 years. And what I've learned is to trust my team, because I made a lot of decisions outside my team and it didn't work for me.
Because you couldn't trust them.
Yeah. No. Because I thought I knew better.
Yeah.
Because I thought I knew better. And they have always been my safety net. Because that's another thing, as a foreigner moving to another country, especially here in Kenya, there aren't no safeguards. If you make a mistake, it can be a very costly mistake. It can cost you a lot.
A lot.
And so having my team as that safeguard has taught me a lot. So shout out to my Traverse Culture Africa team.
I love
They're
that.
the best. Maura, Terry, Sharon, Nee.
Shout out, Terry.
You guys are the best. Yes.
Good. Is competition a thing among Black Americans?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, it's horrible. It's happening here in Kenya. You know, we're a small minority. Very small. It's not a lot of us here. But everybody is doing their own little thing. And it's like, literally, we can't even get together in another country and work together. That's just insane. I'm not in competition with you. Whatever I am doing will benefit us all. So let's work together. And it's hard. It is very hard. We have this, it's a conditioning. And I'm seeing it even here in Kenya. You done left the States and brought it here to Kenya, where we can't even work together. Is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, it's bad.
Man, that's bad. That's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
And it's not a good look. Yeah.
No, I don't think it is. I think you should be able to work together, because this is such a huge initiative. And there are so many people who are relying on your exposure to be able to advise them even as they go through this journey. And there's strength in unity. Ubuntu.
Yes, Ubuntu.
Ubuntu.
You guys teach us that, and that's why I love Kenya so well, just to see how Kenyans treat each other, just, you know, with small customer service, you know what I mean? And how loving and hospitable you are. You know, I could be sitting on the corner and a Kenyan walk by. Are you okay? Don't know me from a can of paint. Are you okay? Oh, Pole. You're like, yes, I'm okay, sorry.
Kenya.
Yes. So, yeah. I've learned a lot from Kenya.
Okay. But also now, for the people who are watching and Kenya might not be their place, where else do you think a lot of Black Americans are getting support in other different African countries?
Yeah.
What other countries can you point to?
I think, of course, Ghana.
Yeah.
There's a bigger diaspora there. So a lot of people wouldn't choose Kenya only because there's not a large African-American diaspora here. So I would say Ghana, if you are a person who are looking for the diaspora, Ghana is going to be your place. There's a growing diaspora in South Africa. Shout out to Ashley in Africa. She's doing some great work in South Africa. A growing population in Senegal, Rwanda, I believe, small.
And Ethiopia.
Ethiopia?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I saw
Okay.
some people move to Ethiopia.
Yeah. But
I don't have more details on it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Looks
I
like
don't
they
have any.
are having the time of their life.
Yeah.
in Ethiopia.
Tanzania.
Yes.
And Uganda. You have quite a few people moving to Uganda as well. So yes, it's happening.
Great. I'm happy to have had this catching up with you. As we wind up, do you have anything you're working on? And also for the people that are watching us, maybe any projects you want to share so that they also, and also where can they be able to find you?
Oh yeah, so we just launched the Journey Back to Eden initiative, which is a spinoff of the Year Return. However, it's intentionally rooted in relationship building, cultural exchange in terms of learning each other. So it kicks off this December, the 28th through January the 4th. And what makes the Journey Back to Eden initiative very unique is that we built it into a 7-day itinerary and a 12-day itinerary. So the summit, the expo, and the New Year celebration is built into an itinerary. So we're not just welcoming you to Kenya to come to a conference and listen to people talk. And of course, we're going to have the cultural exchange expo and the New Year celebration. But we also want to show you in real time the opportunities that Kenya have while you travel around the country through the itinerary. And this call to action is not just for Black Americans. This too is for Kenyans of the diaspora to come home. You've been abroad long enough. You got the knowledge, you got the money. Come home and see the opportunities that you have through the Journey Back to Eden. And sometimes when you start to see, like you said, your country through other lenses, like our lenses, you start to appreciate it and look at it quite differently. And so this is what the Journey Back to Eden is. It is calling all Africans of the diaspora to come to Kenya as the second point of entry into the continent for opportunities such as investment, relocation, medical tourism, agriculture, a cluster of things. Let's celebrate, let's build together, let's get to know each other and move towards what I like to call conscious commerce and trade.
Beautiful. I love that. How can people connect with you? Where can they check out more details on that?
Absolutely. They can check us out on all of our social media, IG, TikTok, YouTube. Our social media handles is Traverse Culture, all of them across the board. You can also go to our website, tverse.com. Again, that is tverse.com. You can also call us. A live person will call you back at our 1-800 number that's on the website. You can email us at admin@tverse.com or at info@tverse.com. But we want you to join us for the Journey Back to Eden this year. It's a 3-year initiative calling us home, 200 Africans of the diaspora to Kenya. Let's build.
Beautiful. Can't wait to see how that turns out. All the very best at it. But before I let you go, I forgot to ask something. A lot of lessons you guys are picking from us here, right? What do you think we can be able to pick from you?
Ooh, I love that. Our outspokenness. Just say it as it is. Don't let people tell you what your history is, who you are as a people. No, we need to start speaking up and saying what it is, period.
Good.
I think that that's a huge takeaway that I believe that we bring to the table. I know a lot of people think we're just overly angry for no reason. But when you start to look at the history, when you start to look at the climate that we're currently living in as Americans, you then, I believe that you start to have empathy and understanding. Oh, I get where you're coming from. And I can pull from that, not the anger, but the strength, the warrior in us. Like, nah, we ain't sitting down and taking whatever you give to us. No, we're going to fight for it. And I believe that that's an added value that we bring to the table. I do believe that.
And I think empathy is important. Both cases. Empathy is important. I get to understand where you're, and you said something important, because there's also that assumption that majority of you are just angry.
For no reason.
For no reason. I think people need to understand the reason, because once they understand where it's coming from, then I think it's easier to get to understand each other. But thank you so much for coming in. Do you want to talk about anything else? Is there anything we've left that you feel like, Lynn, we got to talk about this? If not, what would be your parting shot to our lovely people?
Thank you for having me. I hope you all have enjoyed this conversation. I know y'all gonna come for me in the comment section, but it's okay. But I love y'all either way. Again, thank you for allowing me to be in your beautiful country, the Kenyans here locally and the Kenyans abroad. Thank you for supporting us as well. I see your comments. I see you guys following us. And thank you to Lynn and your beautiful staff for always having us and letting me just express myself.
Good. Thank you for making time to come and educate, laugh with us, talk about us like that. But guys, I really hope you know what we say. For me, I'm very much interested in your take home from this conversation. And one thing I've loved with Kia is she's been able to walk us through some of the things that people might not be able to understand. I say, something is happening here. Black Americans are coming to the motherland, and it's also important for us to understand where are they coming from. But most importantly, also it's important for also them to understand where am I going and what value do I want to add to that environment, right? So let me know what your take home is. Check out her work. The website and the contact details are on the screen. And if you want also to take part in the upcoming event, I think they do have a poster. If not, just check out on their website. I'm sure they'll be able to provide more details for you. But that's on that from my end. Really, guys, by the way, after mumetoa ako ka point, you know, I know some of you will come for half of that, but let me know also what has been really your take home from today's conversation. And also, if you're catching this from diaspora, let me know, do you envision coming back home, and why do you want to come back to the motherland? This helps a lot of people on the comment section also understand where you are coming from. But I'm good, guys. You want to share your story with us? Remember, info@lnn.digital. Share your brief on that email, and who knows, we might be having a conversation with you on our next episode of LNS. But to wind it up, thank you for joining us. Please, if you've watched this and you've not subscribed, subscribe. It goes a long way into making sure our work continues to reach a lot of people. I really do appreciate those who have subscribed. Shukran sana. And our partners at Kings Developers Limited, thank you for coming through. I did talk about them at the beginning of the episode. So if you want to own an apartment with a very ISO certified real estate company, why don't you check them out? Their contact details are on the screen. I was with them the other day at their project in Orchid, and I loved the progress. So check them out for more details. And also, if you want to own a piece of land, Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited, that's what we are bringing you right now. Check out the amazing pieces of land in Maktu, Makutano, Masinga, and Malindi. And don't forget to call them if you want to seek any, if you need any clarification. Their details are on the screen. Invest with them. I know you guys what you're doing. I've seen the feedback. I love that you guys have taken an opportunity to invest with them, which is really beautiful. And also, for more details, you can also watch the small video, the clip that is about to play at the end of this episode. How about I catch you guys tomorrow, 10 a.m. or 7 p.m.
Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited, the leading real estate company in title deed issuance, welcomes you to Malindi Precious Gardens Phase 3, just 30 minutes from Marareni, and 50 by 100 plots are going for 199,000 shillings, and 100 by 100 plots are 350,000 shillings, and it's perfect for building cottages. We also have Matu Baraka Gardens Phase 3, just 5 minutes from Matu town, touching Kivandini Masinga bypass, offering 50 by 100 plots for 399,000 shillings. All plots are close to social amenities with 98% neighborhood development, and prices are inclusive of title deed. Book your site visit now by calling 0726 004455 or 0718 004455. Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited. Title deed is our DNA.